Assalamu alaikum guys, this is the revision for math grade 6. So in the first question it says find the answer of each expression and write it in its simplest form. The first one we have 35 plus minus 17. So here we have a problem. We have two signs next to each other. So we combine them. How? By multiplying the signs. So we have plus times minus will make minus. So now the question, we read it like this. Now it's 35 minus 17. So we have different signs here. 35 is positive, 17 is negative, so we just subtract them. 35 minus 17 will give me 18. Okay, now the second one B. Again, we have two signs next to each other, so we have plus and minus. We combine them, it's minus. Now here we have minus 11, minus 27. So now here we need to compare the signs. So we have minus, minus. So we have the same sign for both of them. Like 11 is negative, 27 is negative. So if we have similar signs, we should add the numbers first. So now we do 11 plus 27, which is 38. Now the last step is we need to pick a sign for the value here, for the answer 38. Which sign do we pick? You look at the biggest value here. We have 11 and 27, so the bigger one is 27. So you take the sign of it, which is minus. So it's minus 38. Now for the next one, we have minus 12.89 minus 7.11. Now again, we compare the signs. They are similar, so we should add the numbers. So we start from the right. 4 plus 9 is 13. 3, we carry 1 up. And then here, 2 plus 8 is 10. 0, we carry 1 here. Now we reach the decimal point, so I add it. Now we have 8 plus 2 is 10. 0, we carry 1 up. Here, 1 and 1 is 2. So 20.03. But then, as we said, the last step, we need to take the sign of the bigger value. So here, which one is bigger? We have 12.89. The sign of it is negative, so minus 20.03. Now in part D, again, we have two signs here coming next to each other. So when I multiply them, minus times minus, it's plus. So now you have 15 is positive, 14.11 is also positive. So positive and positive, so again, they have similar signs, we need to add them. 15 and 14, 29. And then we add the decimal, 11. Now for part E, here we have two fractions, and we need to subtract them. So for the fraction, you know that you cannot do addition or subtraction if denominators are not the same. Like here we have 8, here we have 4. They are not similar. So we need to make one of them equal to the other one if we can. So always check the smaller one, which is 4. Can we multiply 4? Not adding, okay? We should multiply. Can we multiply 4 by something that gives me 8? The answer is yes, which is 2. So I write 2 here small in a bracket, which means that I need to multiply the whole fraction by 2, not only 4, the whole fraction. I should multiply it. Like 2 times 3, 2 times 4, like this. Now, let me rewrite the question again. So the first fraction, we have 7 over 8. We keep it as it is. Then minus. Now here we multiply by 2 everything. So 3 times 2, 6. 2 times 4 is 8. Now we can do the subtraction. We do only the numerator. The denominators has to be the same. So 7 minus 6 is 1, and then over 8. We don't subtract them or add them. So it's 1 over 8. Now, part F. So in part F, we have mixed number here. In order to solve it, first we need to convert it to improper fraction. How do you convert them? We multiply 7 by 3, and then we add what we get to the 1. So for example, 7 times the 3 is 21, plus 1 is 22. So we write it 22 over the same denominator here, 3, minus. Now, the second fraction, we do the same thing, the second mixed number, 10 times the 3 is 30, plus 2, 32. 32 over 3. Now we need to compare the numbers. So here we have 22 over 3, this is positive. 32 over 3, this is negative. So I have two values, they have different signs. What does that mean? It means we should subtract them. Always easier for you, subtract the bigger one from the smaller one. Like say here, 32 minus 22 is 10 over 3. Now the last step, take the sign of the biggest value. 32 is bigger than 22. The sign of it is negative, so it's negative 10 over 3. Now, in part G, we have two fractions but multiplied. So here, do we care about the denominators? No. It can be whatever. So doesn't have to be the same value here. Now, I can multiply them, but it will be hard. And then remember in the question, it says write it in the simplest form. So first we simplify them. How? We choose one value from each of the numerators and one value from the denominators. And then we try to divide them by the same value. For example, 9 and 27, these both can be divided by 9. So 9 divided by 9 is 1, and 27 divided by 9 is a 3. Then next one, I have 8 and 40. Again, both of them can be divided by 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1, 40 divided by 8 is 5. And now you do the multiplication, and the answer will be simplified. So you multiply the numerators together. 1 times a 3 is a 3. And then you multiply the denominators together. 1 times 5 is 5. And that's it. The answer is simplified. Now, part H, we have division. So for dividing fractions is hard. So because of that, we can turn it to multiplication. But how? We keep the first fraction as it is, 7 over 9. And then the division, we turn it to multiplication because we know how to multiply. And then the second fraction, we should flip it. So instead of being 10 over 18, it will be 18 over 10. Now, should we multiply them? No, it's better if we simplify first. Let me do some simplification. Like 7, can I work it with 9? No. 7 with 10? No. So let me try the 9 with 18. So both can be divided by 9. So 9 divided by 9 is 1. 18 divided by 9 is 2. Now we check. Is it done? No, we can still complete dividing. 2 and 10, for example. Both of them can be divided by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Now we can do the multiplication. And the answer will be in simplest form. 7 times 1 is 7. 1 times 5 is 5. So 7 over 5 is the correct answer, and it's in the simplest form. Part I, we have two values, but both of them in brackets. So here we need to be careful. There must be a sign between the brackets, but here there's no sign. So when there's no sign here, it means that they are multiplied. So we need to multiply them. Now, first of all, here we don't compare the signs. No, we multiply them. So you say minus times minus is a plus. But if it is a positive, we don't have to write it, so you can remove it. And now 3.4 times 2.8. Now multiplying decimal might be hard for you, but you know how to multiply two-digit values. So let me forget about the decimal point now. So 3.4, I will write it as 34. And 2.8, I will write it as 28 without the decimal. I will add it at the end. And I need now to multiply them. So first we multiply 34 by 8. 4 times 8. We have 32. 2. Okay, 3. Sorry. Now 3 times 8. And then we need to add 3. So 27. Now we finish multiplying by 8. Now we multiply everything by 2. But first we put plus here. And since I moved one step to the 2, I need to add 1 0. Now 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 3, 6. Now we add them. 2, 7 and 8, 15. 5, we carry 1 here. 1 and 2, 3. 3 plus 6, 9. Okay. Now remember, there was decimal point, then we remove it. Now this is how we write the decimal point. Let's check the value. Now we need to count how many digits we have after the decimal point. Here we have 1. Here we have 1. So in total, I have 2 digits after the decimal point. So here in the answer that I found, I should have 2 digits after the decimal point. So the answer is 9.52. And it's positive because we said that minus times minus is a plus. Now the last part, which is very easy. We have these lines that we call them the absolute value. Their function is to convert all the negative value to positive values. So minus 50 as an absolute value is 50. Minus 17 as absolute value is 17. Now between them we have minus. So 50 minus 17 is 33. So that was the first question. Now let's go to the second question. Second one. Okay. So here, Tala has $112.57 and then she spends $80.8. Write and evaluate expression to find how much she has left. Now, it's better here if you write it as columns and please put them in order like this. 1, 1, 2.57. So she has that amount and then she spends, okay? So when you say spending, your money is decreasing, right? The amount is decreasing. So spend means minus. So here we put minus. We have 80.8. So we put the units underneath and then here the 10 point and then the decimal. Now we subtract them. But now look, here we have 2 values after the decimal point. Here I have only 1. So it's better for me before I do the subtraction to make them having the same numbers after the decimal point. How? We add 0 because here 0 in decimal point has no meaning. Doesn't add any value. Now we do the subtraction. 7 minus 0 is 7. 5 minus 8, I can't. 5, I need to subtract 8 from it, I can't. So we go and borrow from the other value. This 2 will be 1, I'm taking 1 from it. But when I add it here to the 5, it will be added as 10. So it's 15 now. So now 15 minus 8 is 7. We reached the decimal point, so I add it here. Now 1 minus 0 is 1. 1 minus 8 I can't, so 11 minus 8, 3. So she has left 31.77. Don't forget to add the unit. Dollar. So she has $31.77. Question 3. So Javen has 33.6 points in a competition, and then he loses. So he has 33.6, and then he loses. So losing is minus. So minus 5.95. As I said before, add 0, so you make them having same digits, same number of digits. So we need to add 0 here. Now we do 0 minus 5, we can't. So this 6 will be 5. This 0 will be 10. Now we do 10 minus 5 is 5. And then 5 minus 9, again we can't. So we borrow from the next digit. So this will be 2. This 5 will be 15. Now 15 minus 9 is 6. Point. Now 2 minus 5 we can't. So here it will be 12. This will be 2. So 12 minus 5 is 7. And then we have that 2. So what's his current score? 27.65 points. So this is the new score of him. Question 4. So Blake went down 11 floors using the elevator. Then he went up 6 floors. We need to find his new location compared to the starting point. So first of all, we said went down. Down is negative. So minus 11 down. And then he went up 6 floors. So it's plus 6. Now, as I said in question 1, we compare the signs. They are different. So we subtract 11 minus 6, 5. Now take the sign of the biggest. So it's minus 5. So now his location is minus 5 from the starting point. Next question. A plane descends. When we say descends, means it's going down. So descends down is negative 1,500. And then after a storm, it descends again 900. Now find the location of the plane comparing to the starting point. So we compare the signs, they are similar. So it means we need to add the values. 1,500 plus 900, 2,400. Now pick the sign of the biggest, minus. Now the unit, feet. The temperature at 8 a.m. on winter day was -2. And then by noon, the temperature had increased by 28. What's the new temperature then at noon? So it was -2. and then the temperature increased. This is plus. It increased 28. So here they have different signs. So we subtract them. 28 minus 2 is 26. Take the sign of the bigger value, it's plus. So 26 degree Fahrenheit. So this is the new temperature after the increase. Question 7. So a submarine descends 350, descends, goes down, but then after that it ascends, means going up by 295 feet. So they have different signs, so we subtract them. Sorry. So when we subtract them here, we will get 55. Now we take the sign of the biggest one, it's minus. So her position comparing to the starting point is minus 55. It means it's still down. Question 8. We have Brooke rides his bike 22 and 1/8 miles to the park. And then when he's going to home back, after 16 and 1/5 miles, he stops for a lunch. How far is Brooke from home? So first of all, he needs 22 and 1/8 miles, but then he already writes for 16. So here we need to subtract to check what is the remaining part. So 22 and 1/8 minus 16 and 1/5. Now here we have mixed number. We can't subtract them, it's hard. So what should we do here? We should convert them and make them in proper fraction. How? We multiply 22 by 8 and then we add the answer to 1. So 22 times 8, we will have 176 plus 1, 177. Over the same fraction over 8. And then minus, again for 16 we need to do the same thing, 16 times 5, and then plus 1. 16 times 5, it's 80, plus 1, 81, over 5. Now we cannot subtract these two fractions because they have different denominators. We have 8 and 5. We cannot subtract them because they are different. So we need to make them having the same denominator. How? We multiply here by 5 and here by 8. So we multiply the whole fraction. Like the first one, we multiply the whole fraction by 5. Like 177 times 5. So you do it step by step. 7 times 5 is 35. 5, we carry 3. Then again, 5 times 7 is 35, and the 3, 38. 8, we carry 3. 5 times 1, 5, and the 3, 8. 885 over 8, 8 times 5, 40. Then minus 8 times 81, 8 times 1 is 8. Then 8 times 8, 64. Over 40. Now since we have same denominators, so we can subtract them. We subtract only the numerators. 885 minus 648 will give me 200 37 over 40. Now, if we divide 237 over 40 to make it as mixed number, we can just easily, we know that 40 times 5 is 200. So 200 divided by 40 is 5. And then what's the remaining? 37 over 40. So it's 5 miles and 37 over 40. This is what is left. Now, question 9. So we have Nasser earned an average of 6.5 point on his daily homework, and then his average decreased by 2 and 3 over 4. Find the new average. So they said decreased, it's minus. Now we convert the 6 and 1 over 2. So 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1, 13. 13 over 2 minus. Now again, the second fraction, 2 times 4, 8. 8 plus 3, 11 over 4. Now here, in order to subtract them again, they should have same denominators. So we multiply the first fraction by 2. 26 over 4 minus 11 over 4. So it's 15 over 4. If you need to convert it to mixed number, 15 divided by 4 is a 3. So 3 times 4 is 12. What's the remaining? 3 over 4. So this is his new average. Points. Don't forget the unit. Next question, question number 10. So Sandy walks 8 and 1 over 6 miles to a park. On her way home, she stops at Luna's house after 5 and 5 over 6 miles to pick up a book. How much farther Sandy must walk to get home? So it was 8 and 1 over 6. And then we subtract 5 and 5 over 6 to check what is left. Again, we do the same thing here. We multiply 8 by 6, and then we add the 1. So 8 by 6 is 48 and 1, 49 over 6 minus 5 times 6, 30 plus 5, 35 over 6. Now when I multiply them, when I subtract them, it's 14 over 6. Now can we simplify it? Yes, we can divide up and down by 2. So 7 over 3. And if I need to write it as a mixed number, we can divide 6 by 3, 7 divided by 3. 7 divided by 3 is 2. What's the remaining? 1 over 3 miles. Then, question 11. At the beginning of a game, so April had scored 175 points. And at the end of the game, her final score was minus 277. So when you lose here, they will detect minus from you. So you'll be in minus. Determine the change, okay? So remember there's a formula for the change. We said that the change is equal to the ending point minus the starting point, or ending value minus the starting value. So the ending point, what is it? The end of the game is minus 277. And this minus the starting point, 175. Now both values are negative, so we add them. You will get 452. Pick the sign of the biggest one, it's minus. So the change that happened, she loses 452 points. This is the change. Question 12. The West High football team, they gained 7 and then they lost 15. They said, write the overall change. So we consider them at the beginning 0, okay? The first change, they gain 7. When we say gain, it means it's plus. So we have positive 7 and then they lost 15. So what's the overall change here? 17 minus 15 is minus 8 yards. So this is the change. They lost 8 yards in total. Question 13. Find the distance between these two numbers. So we say that the formula to find the distance, and remember distance is always positive. So we say the greater value minus smaller value. So when you put the greater value first, and then you subtract from the smaller, the distance has to be positive. Why? Because greater minus smaller, you will get a positive value. So the greater value here is, look here, both of the numbers are negative, okay? So the less number it is, here, because in negative, everything is the opposite. So the less the number it is, it means the bigger value it has. So here, minus 5.7 is, sorry, minus 5.75 is greater. So I write it here, minus 5.75. And then here I have minus. Now the smaller value, it's minus 6.42. Okay, now here we have a problem, two signs together. It will be plus. Now one negative, one positive. We subtract them. So we do 6.42 minus 5.75. 6.42 minus 5.75, the answer will be 0.67. Take the sign of the biggest one. So this one, it's positive. So this is the distance between these two values. Again, find the distance. So we have the greater value, 10.47, minus, and then the smaller value, which is minus 36.65. We have two signs here, minus and minus will be plus. So now I need to add these two values. So when we add them, we will have 47.12. Now another problem here. Every day a teacher uses 2 buses to come to school. He pays 10.5 for the first one and 8.75 for the second bus. Find how much he should pay in a month, but the information that's given, it was for 1 day. Given that he goes to school 20 days, okay. Now first we find how much he should pay in 1 day. We have 10.5 for the first bus plus 8.75 for the second bus. Now, if you see here in the first one, we have only one digit after the decimal point, but in the second one, we have two digits. So here, what do we have to do? We need to add 0. That has here no meaning, okay? But we should add it so we can make the addition or the subtraction. If we have 0 and 5, 5, 5 and 7, 12, so we have 2, we carry 1, 1 and 8 is 9, and then here. So 19.25 TL, this is for 1 day going to school. Now, they said for 20 days. So now we have to multiply by 20. So 90.25 times 20. Just forget about decimal point. We will add it at the end. We have it after two values, so we put it after two values. Now, we multiply everything by 0, we will get 0. And then we add a 0 when I move for the 2. And then we multiply everything by 2. 5 times 2 is 10, 0. We carry 1, 2 and 2, sorry, 2 times 2, 4 and 1, 5. 2 times 9 is 18, so 8 we carry 1. 2 times 1 is 2 and 1, 3. Now the decimal point after two values, so it's here. 385.00, which means that 385 delay for this teacher in a month, just to go to school. Write each value as decimal number. So to write the fraction as decimal, we need to divide it because it's 22 divided by 125. This is how we do it. 22 divided by 125. We start from the beginning. 22 divided by 125, we can't. So we put here 0 point, and then we add 0 here. Now 220 divided by 125 is 1. Then 1 times 125 is 125. We did division, then we did multiplication. Now we should do the subtraction, which is here we have 5, then here we have 9. So the remaining here we have 95. Now then, do you have another value to write it down? No. So we add a 0 and we complete. Now we have 950. So here you need to try multiplying numbers with 125 to get something close to here. So we multiply by 7. 950 divided by 125 is 7. Now we multiply 7 by 125 will be 875. Now next step we subtract, which is 75. Now do we have value to take it down? No, so we add a 0. Okay, now we can finish it. 750 divided by 125, this is 6. 6 times 125 is 750. And when you subtract, 0. Now it's done. So if you need to write it as decimal value, it's 0.176. Now the question says, and then say if it is terminating or repeating. Terminating, it means you can write it as a decimal and then it ends. So here like 176, it ends. But for repeating, it will keep repeat itself. Like infinitely, we cannot finish. So this one is terminating because it finished after 3 values. Now for the second one, we have 6 and 9 over 37. Since we have the 6 already here, we don't have to multiply and do it because we have 6 as normal number. It's not 0, it's 6. So you put 6 point, and then you only try 9 over 37, like this. Now 9 divided by 37, we can't. So let me put 0 point. And we add 0 to here. 90 divided by 37 is 2. 2 times 37, 74. We subtract 26. Sorry, 16. Now we add another 0 here. 160 divided by 37 is 4. 4 times 37 is 7, 8, 184. Sorry, it's 148. Yeah, because it has to be less than 160 for sure. When I subtract them, the remaining is 12. Now we add 0 for 12 becomes 120 divided by 37 is 3. 3 times 37 is 111. When we subtract, the remaining is 9. Now here we just stop for a while and remember that at the beginning you had 9 and then you add a 0 to it. So this question is repeating itself now. So do we have to complete? No, it's repeating. So we take the decimal values 2, 4, 3. And all of those 3 numbers are keep repeating. So we put a line on them. Means 6.243, and it continues. So we say it's repeating. Question 17. We have 3 times a 3 times a 3 times a 3. It says write it as single exponent, like write it as a power. So it's 3 raised to the power, like how many times it's repeated? 4 times. 3 to the power of 4. Here it says evaluate the expression, like solve it. So you might do like this. 3 times a 3 is 9, times a 3 is 27, and then times a 3, and then you try to multiply. There's an easier way. Just combine these two together, for example, and these two. 3 times a 3 is 9. 3 times a 3 is 9. And then now you need to multiply this 9 times 9, which is 81. Now, if you have 2 over 3 to the power of 3, write it as repeated multiplication. So here we have 2 over 3 is repeated 3 times. Now, in part B, it says evaluate the expression. So we know that in multiplying fraction, we multiply numerators together. So 2 times 2 is 4 times 2, 8 over 3 times a 3, 9 times a 3, 27. This is the fraction. Question 19. On a tree, the trunk splits into 5 branches. Then those 5 branches splits for 5 smaller branches. And then again, those small branches splits into very thin branches. How many very thin branches are on the tree? So we have the 5 that is multiplied each time. So it was repeated 3 times. So we have 5 to the power of 3, which means 5 times 5 times 5, 3 times. 5 times 5 is 25, multiplied by 5 is 125. Very thin branches, 125. Okay, now, next question. We have expressions. We need to write, we have like normal expression. We need to write them as numerical expression, like as numbers. So here you need to know the vocabulary. Like, for example, the first one, it says the sum. The sum means plus. And always put it in the middle. Like the first operation that you read, put it in the middle. The sum of 12 and the square of 4. The square means power of 2. The square of 4. This is the sum of 12 and the square of 4. Now here it says the difference. Difference means minus. Put it in the middle. 20 and 8 divided by 2. These are together, so put them in bracket. 8 divided by 2. Next one says the quotient, which means division. Put it in the middle. Of 100 and the sum of 13 and 7. They said the sum of 13 and 7. Do I have to put them in bracket? Yes. The product means multiply, of 10, and the difference of 24 and 16. The difference of 24 and 16. Here it says 14 more than. So more than something. This is 14 more than something. What's that thing? They said the sum of 8 cube and 18. The sum of 8 cube and 18. And then I have 14 more than them because it says 14 more than. So this is how we write the numerical expressions. Now here in this question it says use the order of operation to evaluate the expression. Remember the order of operation. First of all, we work out the brackets, then exponent, which is the power, multiplication and division, last thing, addition and subtraction. So here, first of all, I work out these. 5 times 6, 30. Now the question becomes like this, 24 minus 30 minus 7. Now we start from left to right because all of them are minus. Sorry. So 24 minus 30. This is positive. 24 is positive. 30 is negative. So we subtract them. 24 minus 30. This is minus 6. Now I have minus 6 minus 7. Same sign. We add them. 13. Take the sign of the biggest. Minus 13. Next one we work out. 18 divided by 9 is 9. Then multiplication, 1 times 4, 4. Now we subtract them, 9 minus 4, 5. Question C, we work out the exponent first. 3 to the power of 3, it's 3 times the 3 times the 3, which is 27. Then we have to do the multiplication. 3 times 27, which is 81. Let me write it down here. 81 minus 56 divided by 7. We know that 8 times 7 is 56, so it's 8. 81 minus 8 is 73. Now the last one. First of all, we work out the bracket. 12 plus 8 is 20. And in a bracket and outside there's 4. What does that mean? It means 20 times 4. Minus here 12 times 3 is 36. 4 times 20 is 80. So 80 minus 36 equal to 44. Next question. Identify variable, coefficient, and the constant. So variable is the unknown or the letters that we have. Coefficient is the number that is multiplied by the variable. Constant is the number that is not changing. It means it's not with the variable, it's alone. So the first one, the variable is x. The coefficient is the number that is multiplied by x is minus 4. And then the constant is 1. Now next one, the variable is y. The coefficient that's multiplied by y is 5. The constant here is minus 7. Now the last one, the variable is z. Now what's the coefficient? So here z is multiplied by 1, but we don't write it. We don't say 1z, 1x. No, we say z, x, y, something like this. So the coefficient is 1. Now the constant, do we have any number here? No, so the constant is 0. Question 23. Murad is 7 years younger than, younger means less, his brother Hamid. Let H represent Hamid's age. So H for Hamid's age. Write an algebraic expression to represent Murad's age. So Murad is the age of Hamid, but younger than him, 7 years. So this is the expression. H minus 7 will give me the age of Murad. Now the last question. Evaluate each expression. We have x divided by 10 plus x. And then we need more information to solve it. They said that x equal to 90. Now we substitute x by 90. Like all the value of x, we change it with this 90. 90 divided by 10 plus 90. As we did in the previous question, the priority for division, 90 divided by 10 is 9. Then plus 90 is 99. Part B, we need to change C by 6. So it's 4C. But when we say 4C, it means it's multiplied, 4 multiplied by C. So I write it in bracket, so I don't forget that it's multiplication. Instead of C, I put 6 to the power of 2, because C to the power of 2, minus 6 multiplied by C, which is 6 again. Now, first of all, we do multiply or power. We work out the power first. 6 to the power of 2 is 36. And then 36 times 4. So we have here 4 times 36 minus 36. Here, 6 by 6. Can I just directly do 36 minus 36? No, because priority to do the multiplication first. So 4 times 36, it's, sorry, it's 144 minus 36 equal to 108. Question C. We have 8y squared and y is equal to 4. We write it in bracket 8y squared. Do the square first. So it will be 8 times 4 squared is 16. So 8 times 16 is 128. Next one, we have 30 over d, which means 30 over 5. Is it done? No, we need to divide them. 30 divided by 5 is 6. Now the last question. I have 3 times x, which is 4. And then I have 4 times y, which is a 3. Let me simplify them. 3 times 4 is 12. And down here we have 4 times a 3 is 12. Can we simplify them? Yes, of course. 12 divided by 12 is 1. So this is how we solve expression that has variable. We substitute the value of the variable and then we work out the answer. Okay, so hope it was beneficial for you. I hope you understand it. And study hard, do your best. And if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask me. Good luck.